All right, good morning. Welcome. Little snowy here today, so we got kind of a small turnout. So we're broadcasting on YouTube Live for those of you that want to watch class from home. A couple of things I want to finish up from yesterday, gentlemen. We were talking about driver qualification issues yesterday. We didn't get into railroad crossing violations. Those will get you jammed up. There's 6 of them. Getting hung up on the tracks is a violation. There's an example of that. The thing to learn from this little picture is follow route instructions. This is one of the reasons that I don't want you to become an owner-operator right from the get-go. There's too much you don't know yet. And if there's a crown and a railroad crossing, come on in, grab a seat. We're just starting up. Welcome, I'm Bill.
Joseph.
Joseph, welcome. If there's a crowned railroad crossing like this that's an issue, if there's a low bridge out there, your carrier knows about it. How does a carrier know about a low bridge that's out there? The carrier knows that bridge is there and it's too low. How do they know that?
It should be marked, right?
Well, yeah, but how would the carrier know it? How would this, huh?
Probably an online thing.
Well,
They
that
got maps, they got the information.
it's simpler than that, guys. They've already hit it.
Oh, yeah.
They've already hit it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The other thing that we did on every trailer, we had the height. I still had a sleep routine, try to go under a 12-6 bridge in Chicago. They got all the way under there. I had to pay somebody to go cut the stack off so they could back out. And I asked the guy, he was a 35-year veteran. I said, what were you thinking? He goes, I swear to God, I thought we were 12-6. And I said, what did you think those numbers were right by the light plug for every trailer you've plugged in the last 25 years? It said 13.6. Well, I don't know. I never thought about it.
Oh man.
Okay. So follow route instructions. Okay. Stopping on the tracks when there's not enough room to clear. Look, you got a 73-foot rig. You got to have 73 feet on the other side to get it to stop in before you start. So if there's cars on the other side of that railroad track that are stopped for a light or something, you don't start across until you can get all the way across. And I can show you a YouTube video of drivers that are smart enough to do that. They get run into by a train.
So yesterday that happened to me in Rodman. This guy exactly is an 18-wheeler behind me, and he is stopped in the middle. I said, man, this is incorrect what he's doing, you know. So, I mean, for what I've been seeing in here, you know.
Yep, you're paying more attention to what trucks are doing out there, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, let's see.
I noticed that Prax Air out there is advertising 90,000.
Okay, Prax Air is advertising 90,000 a year. Yep.
There's a sign on 52.
Yep. Oh, really? The electronic side?
No, it's a plastic. It's right before the oil well.
The refinery out there? Okay.
Right by the truck stop.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we're not making this up. What these companies are paying now.
It's kind of hard to see because where the money is, it's down on the ground.
Really?
If you didn't see it there, I didn't see it until I went to get gas at that pilot once.
Oh, okay.
Another one yesterday too that happened when we left in here over the 52 on the way to Rochester, or close to the refinery. It's another old truck. Some piece of the plastic went out in the middle of the road and over. I mean, a huge one. And somebody, boom, is going here. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that on the news.
Oh yeah?
Trying to do something here. Okay. So, stopping on the tracks is a violation, not slowing down for the tracks. So let's understand this. As truck drivers, we are required to reduce our speed, at least something for railroad tracks. Now, any of you that test in Wisconsin, the way this is going to work, your examiner is going to say, pretend that sign up there is a railroad crossing and show me what you do. So what you do is you take your foot off the throttle, slow down by at least 5 miles an hour, crack the window, turn down anything that's making noise in the cab, like the fan or radio, and then look both ways. Okay? So you will be tested on that, all right, during your road test. Number 4, not stopping when required. So that's when you're driving a bus or hazardous materials. Number 5, not stopping for a sign or signal. That's obvious. And then number 6, getting hit by a train or hitting a train. Okay?
I'm seeing it.
And those of you that were on Saturday, Mark showed you a YouTube video of that, didn't he?
Yeah, the Federal Express and the train. Man, this.
Well,
Well, I mean,
the one in Minnesota is the one that's amazing to me.
that one, yeah.
You know, this one, this is just amazing. Watch this. Yeah. Good morning.
I'm seeing it.
Isn't that amazing? He just drove right into the train.
Okay, according with Mark, he says that the trooper is the one who took the whole video, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So probably he got a ticket. He was upset. He was mad or something. I mean,
Yeah. But
I mean, there's still the lights are right there.
Right.
No?
so the bottom line here is that you got to pay attention, and you're right. I mean, this guy was distracted because, you know, he had just been inspected by that trooper, and probably had received a ticket for something, and you know,
Yeah, he
so
was upset. I guess.
and you know, maybe he was delayed too. Maybe that was a big part of the problem. Maybe he was supposed to be someplace at certain time, and that inspection delayed that process. So, you know, people get distracted, and that's something that you have to guard against. Okay. So anyway, so hitting a train is the final one. Now, when I talk about trains, I also want to mention, what about not shifting? Now, technically, we are prohibited from shifting on railroad tracks when hauling hazardous materials. But the industry recommends you don't shift on the tracks at all. So I'm going to say don't shift on the tracks ever. Since we have to stop between 15 and 50 feet away from tracks when you are required to stop, I'd recommend stopping 50 feet away. That way you've got room to shift a gear or two before you get to the tracks. Make sense? Also, there's out of service orders. If you violate those, your license will be suspended. A first violation is 6 months to a year, 2 to 5 years for a second, 3 to 5 years for a third. Now, out of service, what that means is one of two things. It means either you, the driver, have been shut down by a trooper because of fatigue or driving excessively, or the vehicle's been put out of service due to some mechanical defect. Okay. If the trooper shuts you down, they actually put something on the windshield. This little sticker will go on the windshield if the trooper shuts the vehicle down due to a mechanical defect. All right. Now, the feds are going to suspend your license for 6 months to a year for violating that. The state of Minnesota is going to add $10,000 fine and 90 days in jail. Don't mess around with this, okay? If they put you out of service, you ain't driving that truck. Make sense?
Right.
All right, so that concludes the driver quals that I need to go over with you. And then one more thing I need to touch on before I turn things over to Gary for hours of service. The video you watched yesterday talked about driver wellness, in other words, staying healthy. You've got to be physically fit to do this job. So what does an individual need to do in order to stay physically fit?
Well, take care of yourself.
What's that mean? What do you got to do to take care of yourself?
Well, you gotta check yourself with a doctor, eat well, and
Okay, wait a second. So you got to eat well.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, is there anybody here that needs a lecture on proper diet? Anybody here not know what you should be eating? Okay. So let me bring this to the table. If you're a truck driver, here's my recommendation. If you're working such that you're going home every night, bring your lunch to work in a cooler. If you're running over the road, put a refrigerator in your truck, which all the trucks are equipped to do now. All of today's trucks come with cabinetry that allow putting in a 12-volt refrigerator quite easily. Right? So if you're running over the road and sleeping in that truck, then you're putting a 12-volt refrigerator in it, you eat out of that truck. What am I recommending that you avoid?
Fast food.
Exactly. Okay. Eating in restaurants is going to do two things. It's going to deteriorate your health and it's going to deplete your pocketbook. Okay. I am very much a advocate of proper diet. I struggle with it to an extent. I gain weight in the wintertime. I don't get enough exercise in the winter, which is going to be the next thing here. But I'm really careful with my diet. I have fresh fruit and vegetables every single day. My breakfast every single morning is blueberries, bananas, almond milk, protein powder, and kale. That's my breakfast every single day. Right? I resist the French fries. I resist the fried chicken. I stay away from fried food 100%. Right? My weakness is chocolate and a cookie here and there. Okay. Pretty good about staying away from the donuts. Although when Schneider comes in here, he brings the best doggone donuts, so that's hard to resist. So it's a discipline that we need to stay on track with in order to stay healthy. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. I'm not going to tell you what you don't already know, but the nuance I want to bring to the table is eat out of the truck. Okay, that way you're eating better food, cheaper. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right? And then the exercise part of it. You've got to get some exercise. You can't just, well, you can. But sitting behind the wheel for 11 hours straight, just bouncing around the steering wheel, is not healthy for you. It'll be hard on your back, hard on a lot of other organs, and it's hard on your heart. You're not getting any, you're not moving around. You're not getting any aerobic stuff. So you've got to find an opportunity during the day to get out and move around. One of the things that I've got a fold-up bike that I take with me on trips. When I have a trailer with me, I have a regular size bike. My preferred form of exercise is a bicycle, which is why I struggle a little bit in the wintertime because I don't ride a bike in the wintertime. What I should do is get one of those fat bikes with studded tires and go out and ride around in the snow. That'd be kind of fun. A friend of mine's really into that, man. He's got all kinds of winter gear, all kinds of stuff so he can ride when it's really, really cold. Anyway, but if I were running over the road, as I mentioned to you yesterday, I'd want to run a refrigerated trailer so I get to the coasts and get to some warm weather, and then I'd be out on my bicycle. Okay. I'd also want to take a dog along. That way, when I do my stops, I got to get out and exercise the dog, which gives me some exercise. Okay. So remember to do that. If you're in this for the long haul, you gotta take care of yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I'm going to conclude this part of the presentation. So I'm going to shut off our streaming. Anybody at home, if you want us to continue the streaming here today on Tuesday, the 20th of February, give the office a call. Let Josh know that you want us to stream class. Otherwise, have a good day. More important, have a safe day.